their head and food in their bellies. And as a single mom, that is like, yeah, yep, I'm blessed. I'm 33. Some days someone will make you happy. You know, I take myself out on dates. I am working avidly on taking care of myself. And it's been it's very long overdue. Good night, Patrick. Sorry, I'm looking where I was. Sorry, I'm catching up on comments. I promise you, I try my best to read them. I love your honesty, baby, and someone I love because you stand a while. On a brighter note, I'm chatting with a beautiful woman. Go on. Do you have anything else about that guy we don't know that you can tell us? What do you want to know? What do you described is not marriage? Correct. And I didn't know that. Like, Dallin, nice to see you. I don't know if you commented, but I'm happy you're here. I grew up super churchy, and it was like super awful to get divorced, so I stayed. I can tell you I went to church. I did all of the things. Any ritual, shrine, commitment, any out-of-the-box thing people would promise if you just overcommit, I did it. I went to support groups. Thank you, fat boy. I did it. That pew was dented from my participation. And at the end of the day, like, someone else's choice to go or do whatever is out of your control and in somebody else's hands. And I was like, you know what? That's not going to define who I am as a person. I'm a badass mom and I'm fun and I deserve to love myself more than I give myself credit for. And so, yeah, him leaving actually ended up being the best thing that ever happened to me. But it did not leave a good rep on what marriage looks like. Thank you. Thank you. And that's actually me still talking nicely about it. It was very unhealthy. But who likes prison? Some people, you know, I will openly admit there are people that I know. I am very blessed to know people on all radiuses of lifestyles. I know extremely wealthy, extreme poverty, and I, unfortunately, in the extreme poverty category, one of my very good friends, her brother said to me, it is easier to commit a whatever than it is to live in this economy, to go get free housing and free meals by being locked into 4 walls, because work itself is a prison. And it was just, I've been around a lot of different aspects of lifestyles and perspectives on things. And it's like really unfortunate that that's not the first time I had heard that. You say who likes prison, but there's some people that feel like that's their only way to survive in this life, which is really sad. They're like, because they shared things with me, like they were living in a trailer with, I'm trying to be confidential so they don't know I'm speaking about them directly, but they had like holes in their ceiling, like they had like a tiny, like it was so cold in their trailer. Yeah, it's really sad. So yeah, some people would actually say they prefer that. I was married for 25 years and never go through that again. It wrecked me emotionally. Yeah. Yep. Divorce is extremely not what I thought. People are like, oh, it sucks to get divorced. It's better to force your marriage to work. But it is extremely agonizing. Like, for me, marriage, thank you, is like a living organism. Like, you become like one cohesive unit, even if you despise each other, and like breaking that bond of your forever and always is really uncomfortable, because your whole identity is wrapped around like, I'm going to be with this person for the rest of my life. And when they're gone, you're like, what am I going to do now? Because I just spent like all this time and money and effort in this one direction to have it completely disappear. So, it wasn't a perspective I thought like going in, like you conceptualize what you think something will be like, and then you go through it and you're like, oh shit, that's not what I actually thought. Happy Mother's Day. Thanks, Eric. The wrong marriage is prison. The right marriage is team sports. I have a tendency to carry more than my fair share. And I know that's a natural personality trait of mine, and I take ownership of that, to be honest with you. Like, I have a praise kink, I'll just say that. I like pleasing and I like making someone happy, but it ends up becoming the status quo, where like when you are chronically finding ways to be, you know, a certain, like I love cooking, cleaning, nurturing, like tell me what you like and I'll do it. But then I normalize it. That's the problem. In a lot of relationships, one person thinks like, well, maybe if I marry them, then things will get better and then they'll change and they'll progress, right? Like I'll be patient and get married and then like hope it changes and then it doesn't. And then there's resentment. And then there's the other flip coin of that of, you know, this is great. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be like this forever. Like my first husband was devastated when I put on postpartum weight and I got bigger and he was like, you've changed. I'm not attracted to you anymore. And like people change. Like if you're with someone for 10 years, like they're not going to be the same person they were at 18, hopefully, when they're 28 years old. Like, so it's two sides. Is some people go into relationships hoping someone's going to change, or maybe they'll stop shoving their socks in that one creepy corner of the couch, or like stop, you know, smearing their boogers all over the glass mirror. I don't know what it is. Like people will think like, oh, this is not that big of a deal breaker, but like those little small resentment things add up real quick. And then the flip side of like, I'm someone that I love to hold up all this weight, and then I do have depression. So like when I'm sad, I feel like I'm not allowed to like have a weekend of like standard, because to them it's like catastrophic, even if it's like totally normal somewhere else, because I have a tendency to overcompensate, and then I don't feel supported in my capacity because it's not realistic for one person to sustain that level of output all of the time. Go on, do you have if no one else's prophecy, someone tells you otherwise, full of shit. Sounds like a piece of my puzzle that's missing. If you let me, I'll give you my love. Keep what you came in the listener's general opinion. Damn TikToks. Crack, I love snowflakes. It's about putting your partner needs and wants. Hi, Hugo. Who are the truck ones? Dinner at 5. He doesn't remember most guys. So he actually, when we first got married, told me that he'd be home at 4 and wanted dinner on the table by 5, but then like stopped coming home. And this is the same man who told me he wouldn't eat leftovers. So like if he didn't come home and it was like 7, I'd pack up and put it in the fridge, and then he'd come home and make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And I'm like, there's dinner for you and XYZ. Oh, he wouldn't share his location. Like I was like, if you want to just text me on your way home, I'll heat it up for you or whatever. Wouldn't do it. He refused. He said it was too controlling. But yeah, he wouldn't eat. If I put it in the fridge and packed it away, he didn't want it anymore because it was considered a leftover. And then he'd bitch to me or make fun of me in front of his friends or family that I never cooked him dinner. It was fine. It was fine. We don't have to go back there. We're freed. I just wish I could give my younger self a hug. That's all. How's the little one? He's beautiful. Beautiful. Another person's property. I agree with you. What? It's that. Happy Mother's Day. Thank Matt. Matt, if you're still here, it's nice to see you. Not just for a 14-year-old. Ah, jealous. Thank you all for listening to me rant. Someone helps do the day-to-day things because they want to. Relationships never do. Sometimes I would say, though, that most of the time, so in my younger 20s, I liked the more alpha males. So with ADHD, I have like major indecision. I like someone that knows what they want, gives direction, like coordinates air traffic controls. I'm not naturally someone that likes to manage. I'm really not. And people just assume that because I can, that means I like it. I don't. I'm a single mom, so I naturally just know how to chaos coordinate. I've been in leadership roles. I can put on the hat and perform it well, but it is extremely mentally toxic for me to do it, so I avoid it. So yeah, in my younger 20s, I noticed that I liked the guys, the business guys that could like be efficient and orderly, so I could just do my whimsical whatever. But I recognized that those personality types were very controlling, like paid attention to the mileage on my car. They were like, where'd you go today? And I was like, XY. And they were like, well, you went an extra 20 miles in that. Where are you? Yeah, like my money on my debit card, they'd want clearance and permit. I didn't want to ask permission for the money. I was working and they'd like make me like I wasn't allowed to spend money. I didn't like that. Anyway, I dated really controlling people in my early 20s, and then now in my now the last couple years, I have felt like I have been raising adult men, and I'm like, you know what, I can't do it. And I don't like demoralizing men either. So because I know how to do it by myself, they're like, well, it's weaponized incompetence. They're like, well, Brittany, you just do it better. Why don't you just do it? And then I end up with like too much on my plate that I'm like, I literally can't do all of this by myself. So thank you. That dude is a leftover. That dude is a leftover. We all have our days. I'm sorry, Brittany, I've been there. He sounds like a fucking loser. I was stupid. And here's the thing. Self-esteem, I will say this, I don't care what your gender is. Self-esteem is really important when you're dating. Do not settle. And I that is one of the things I wish I could wear on a t-shirt all the time. Do not settle. I did not believe I was worthy of more. I thought I deserved it. Like, I was clearly a piece of shit, so I deserved to be treated like it. Like, I was not nice to myself. Every mean thing he ever said to me, I was like, well, I'm just fortunate that you're here and show up, because clearly I'm such a piece of shit. I'm not worth it. Do not settle. Please do not settle. I don't care who you are. And that's why, yeah, I have friends that are trying to date, and they're like, I would just take anything that would take me. I'm like, nope. 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 No. 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 I have been emotionally, mentally abused. I'm telling you, don't do it. Don't do it. Love yourself, please. Please, 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 please. Wait until you find the person that you're like, holy shit, this was so worth waiting for. I'm with everybody. And maybe that'll make a really lonely universe, because maybe we're all just really crappy people. But, yeah. Yep. Thank you for being open. Yeah, of course. I appreciate you for listening to me rant. You look sunny tonight. Thank you, Josh. You're always so nice to me. Hi, Oscar. Thank you guys for the comment. Beast, thanks for coming back. John Wall Games. Hi, hi, hi. Welcome back again. I would love to meet with you. Thailand. Anyone else will do good women. It makes trust with women so much harder. I just am more patient. I don't think it's I understand trust for me. I think will forever be a permanent thing that's really, challenging. I think the thing that I look for more than anything is someone who's stable. Stable, reliable, and consistent. We live in a society where, like, as soon as there's an upgrade, new phone, or an upgrade, new this, or an upgrade, new that, we just toss it. And I don't want to be tossed anymore. I'm looking for something that stays, shows up when it says it's going to. I understand your tire blew up. I'm not here to be micro whatever about it, but there's too many bullshitters out there. We live in a world where AI is there. I don't know how you guys are surviving out there on dating platforms where people are, they're trying to win you by using their AI chat box to be like, how do I get this guy? What do I need to say to win him? So it's not authentic connections anymore. We live in a very performative society, and I know I'm very patient. I know how to take care of myself. I pay my own bills. I go out and I have fun. And if you're not adding and you're subtracting, that's not something I have time for.